Hello there, fellow cat mums and cat dads. Picture this familiar scene. You are sitting on the couch, and your precious little angel is busy pushing your favourite water glass off the edge of the coffee table. You look them dead in the eye and say, "No." What do? They maintain intense, unblinking eye contact while slowly nudging the glass until it shatters on the floor. It is in these moments that we all ask ourselves the sane question. Do they not understand me? Are they broken? Or are they doing this completely on purpose, just to watch me suffer? Well, friends, get ready for a reality check. Your cat understands way more than you think. They are not ignoring you because they do not comprehend your words. They are ignoring you because, in their mind, they are the boss. Today, we are going to reveal the secret vocabulary that your cat absolutely recognizes. Write down in the comments right now what your little hooligan's name is, and let us dive into the hilarious truth about what your cat actually hears. Before we get into the specific words, we need to talk about how a cat's brain actually works. We often compare cats to dogs, which is our first big mistake. Dogs were bred over thousands of years to work with humans. They were designed to listen to commands, herd sheep, and bring back ducks. Cats, on the other hand, pretty much domesticated themselves. Thousands of years ago, they realized that human grain stores attracted mice. They moved in, started eating the mice, and humans thought, "Hey, this is great." Fast forward to today, and that tiny apex predator is sleeping on your laptop keyboard while you try to work. Cats never evolved to obey us. They process sound incredibly well, with ears that act like satellite dishes, rotating independently to catch the faintest rustle of a mouse. So, when they hear you speak, they are not listening for commands. They are listening for context. They use your tone of voice, your body language, and specific sounds to figure out if what you are saying benefits them. If it does not involve food, play, or comfort, they simply file your words in their mental spam folder. Let us start with the most obvious and debated word of all time: their own name. You might be sitting there thinking, "My cat definitely does not know their name. They never come when I call them." But science says otherwise, my friends. Researchers in Japan actually proved that cats can distinguish their own names from other random words of the same length and rhythm. So, why do they ignore you? It is simple. They are cats. When you call out for Mr. Fluffles, he hears you perfectly fine. His ears might twitch, or his tail might give a little flick against the floor. That is his way of saying, "Message received, human. Please leave a voicemail." When they hear their name, they are essentially weighing their options. Is it worth getting up off this extremely comfortable pile of clean laundry? Is there a high-value treat involved? If the answer is no, you are going to get the silent treatment. It is not that they are stupid. It is just that their priority list is very different from yours. They know exactly who they are. They just also know who is really in charge. The second word your cat absolutely knows is the magical F word. No, not that one. I'm talking about food. Or perhaps you use the word dinner or breakfast. Whatever your chosen vocabulary is, this word operates like a magical summoning spell. You could whisper the word food from 3 rooms away, behind a closed door, while a vacuum cleaner is running, and suddenly, your cat will teleport to your feet. They associate this specific sequence of sounds with the greatest joy in their life. Interestingly, they often learn this word by associating it with a sound, like the pop of a tin can or the crinkle of a bag. But over time, they drop the need for the physical sound and just respond to your voice. They recognize the rising excitement in your tone when you ask, "Are you hungry?" They know that this specific human noise results in a bowl of delicious gravy-covered chunks. This is the ultimate proof that cats have excellent phonetic memory. They just choose to apply it strictly for their own gastronomic benefit. They are tiny opportunists. Now we move on to the word no. Oh, the absolute tragedy of the word no. Every cat owner knows this word well, and every cat owner knows how completely useless it is. But here is the secret. Your cat totally knows what no means. They have learned that this sharp, harsh sound means you want them to stop what they are doing. But to a cat, no does not mean stop doing that forever because it is wrong. To a cat, no means stop doing that right now while I am looking at you and just wait until I leave the room to finish the job. When you yell no as they approach the forbidden houseplant, they often freeze. They look at you. They are calculating the distance between you and them and figuring out if they have enough time to take one bite of that leaf before you stand up. They see the word no less as a strict boundary and more as a fun little challenge. It is a negotiation tactic. You say no, they say maybe, and usually the cat wins. It is their favourite game of psychological warfare. Next up is the universally beloved word treats. This word holds a completely different weight than regular food. Regular food is an expectation. It is their right as the ruler of the house. But treats? Treats are a bonus. Treats are feline currency. When you say the word treats, you are not just offering sustenance, you are offering a bribe. Cats learn this word incredibly fast because the reward is so high value. You will notice that when you say treats, their body language changes completely compared to when you say food. Their eyes dilate, they might let out a specific high-pitched meow or trill, and they suddenly become the most affectionate creature on the planet. They will rub against your legs, purr loudly, and pretend they did not just bite your ankle 5 minutes ago. The word treats activates their manipulative charm protocols. They know exactly what this word means, and they know exactly how to behave to ensure that the treats are delivered swiftly to their mouths. We think we are training them, but really, they are training us. Let us take a dark turn and talk about the cursed word. The word that shall not be named in many households. The vet. Or perhaps you call it the doctor. Cats are incredibly perceptive creatures. They do not just learn the word itself, they learn the entire atmospheric shift that happens when you say it. They notice that your heart rate changes, your voice gets that fake, overly sweet tone, and the dreaded plastic carrier appears from the closet. While they might not speak English, they associate the phonetic sound of vet with impending doom. I have known cats who will happily lounge on the sofa all day, but the second someone whispers the word vet to their spouse, the cat turns into a liquid shadow and vanishes under the bed for 6 hours. They recognize the syllables and the context. If you want to test this, try saying the word vet in a super happy, high-pitched voice while offering a treat. Watch how conflicted they get. Their brain is saying danger, but your tone is saying party. It is a fascinating glitch in the feline matrix. Number 6 on our list of recognised words is actually a phrase. Good boy or good girl. Now, cats might not understand the moral concept of being good. In their minds, everything they do is perfect, including throwing up in your favourite shoes. However, they absolutely recognise this phrase. Why? Because we always say it in a very specific, embarrassing baby voice. You know the voice I'm talking about, the one you would never use in front of your boss. Cats respond incredibly well to high-pitched, gentle tones. When they hear good boy, they associate it with gentle pets, scratches behind the ears, and a feeling of safety. They learn that this specific string of words means the large, hairless 8 is pleased and is about to offer affection. If you watch their body language when you say it, you will often see a slow blink, which is a cat's way of smiling, or a relaxed posture. They might not know what good means in the dictionary, but they know it means they are currently succeeding at being worshipped, and that is all they really care about. Moving on to block number 7, the command, "Come here." This is where the stark difference between cats and dogs really shines. If you tell a dog to "come here," they usually bound over with a goofy smile, thrilled to be included in whatever you are doing. If you tell a cat to "come here," they treat it as a polite suggestion that they will take under advisement. But do they know what the words mean? Yes, absolutely. They associate "come here" with you wanting their physical presence. They have learned this through repetition. But cats are all about consent and personal space. When you say "come here," they do a quick mental calculus. Am I warm right now? Yes. Is the human holding chicken? No. Therefore, I will not be going there. However, if you pat your lap or the sofa while saying it, they might eventually wander over, on their own terms, at their own pace, taking a detour to sniff a chair leg first, just to prove they are not obeying you. They know the word, they just hate the idea of compliance. Number 8 is a word that echoes through every cat owner's kitchen. Down. Usually accompanied by frantic clapping or pointing. Get down from there! We say this when they are on the kitchen counters, the dining table, or precariously balanced on top of a bookshelf. Your cat absolutely recognizes the word down. They know it means their vertical privilege is being revoked. But here's the funny part. Cats are natural climbers. Being up high gives them a sense of security and dominance. So when you tell them down, they hear it, but their instinct tells them, why would I go down? I am the king of this room. Often when you say down, a cat will just sit down exactly where they are, looking at you like, instructions unclear, I am sitting down on the counter. They know you want them on the floor, but they are going to make you physically come over and remove them. It is a power play. They understand the vocabulary of your command, they just completely reject the authority behind it. Let us talk about a fun word, play, or toy. If you have a playful feline, this word is like a shot of espresso to their system. Cats are hunters. Even if they have never been outside a day in their lives, their DNA is wired for the stalk, the pounce, and the kill. When you say the word play, or ask, where is your mouse? They recognize those specific sounds because they always precede the appearance of the laser pointer or the feather wand. You can see the physical transformation when they hear this word. Their pupils dilate until their eyes are almost completely black. Their ears pivot forward. Their butt does that hilarious little wiggle as they prepare to launch themselves across the living room. They have learned that this word means their inner tiger is about to be unleashed. It is one of the few words that will actually get a cat to wake up from a deep sleep and immediately sprint into another room. They do not just recognize the word, they feel the word in their primitive little souls. The 10th word your cat knows is actually highly dependent on your personal routine. Words like bedtime or sleep. Cats are creatures of habit. They love routine more than anything else. If you're someone who says, "All right, time for bed," and then turns off the lights and goes to the bedroom, your cat learns this phrase very quickly. But how they react to it depends entirely on their personality. For some cats, the word bedtime means it is time to go snuggle up by your feet and purr themselves to sleep. For other cats, the word bedtime translates directly to, the humans are going to lie down, which means it is time for me to practice my parkour and sing the song of my people at 3 in the morning. They recognize the word as a signal for a transition in the household environment. They know what is coming next. They just use that information to plan their nocturnal activities, which usually involve knocking a pen off your desk over and over until the sun comes up. Number 11 is the word outside or out. If you have a cat that is allowed outdoors or one that loves to sit on a secure balcony, this word holds immense power. They will sit by the door, stare at the handle and wait. When you finally ask, "Do you want to go out?" they might respond with a chirp or a meow. They absolutely recognize the word. But here is the classic cat prank. You say out, you open the door, and then they just stand there, half inside, half outside, letting all the cold air into the house. They understand the word, they asked for the door to be opened, but the moment you comply, they need to re-evaluate the entire universe before making a decision. Are there weird bugs out there? Is the wind blowing slightly to the left? They know the word out means access to the wider world, but they also believe that open doors are a television screen provided strictly for their entertainment. They recognize your vocabulary. They just enjoy wasting your time. Let us dive into block number 12, which is all about nicknames. This is where it gets really funny. We all name our cats something dignified at first, like Alexander the Great or Princess Bella. But within 6 months, you are calling them Stinky, Chonky Boy, Fluffbutt, or just a series of random clicking noises. The amazing thing is that your cat recognizes all of their aliases. Feline behavioral experts note that cats are highly adaptive to the sounds we direct at them. If you call your cat Stinky every time you give them a treat or scratch their chin, their brain wires the sound of stinky to positive reinforcement. They do not know it is an insult in human language. To them, stinky is just the password to get attention. So yes, your dignified feline predator fully recognizes and answers to Mr. Wiggletoes. They are not confused by multiple names, as long as the tone you use is consistent, and the outcome usually benefits them. They accept whatever ridiculous vocalizations you make, as long as the service is good. Word number 13 is stop it. We usually use this word in moments of sheer panic or frustration. Your cat is scratching the expensive sofa, or chewing on a toxic houseplant, or aggressively attacking your foot under the blanket. You yell, "Stop it!" Do they know what it means? Yes. Do they care? Not at all. In fact, cats often misinterpret our panicked shouting as participation. When you raise your voice and wave your arms, your cat might think, "Oh boy, the big hairless ape is getting excited. This game of destroying the sofa is really heating up." They recognize the harsh consonants of the word stop, but because they lack human empathy, they don't feel guilty. Instead of stopping, they might pause, stare at you, and then continue doing exactly what they were doing, just a little bit faster. They know you are unhappy, but from a cat's perspective, your unhappiness is just a you problem. Unless you physically intervene, the word stop is just background noise to their chaos. Number 14 on our list involves the names of other pets in the house. If you have a dog or a second cat, your primary cat absolutely knows their names. Cats are highly observant eavesdroppers. If you have a dog named Buster, your cat quickly learns that the sound Buster usually means food is dropping on the floor, or the human is distracted, or a walk is happening. Cats will often use this vocabulary knowledge to their advantage. I have seen cats who will ignore their own name completely, but the second you call the dog's name, the cat comes running into the kitchen just to make sure the dog isn't getting a treat that the cat might want to steal. It is pure FOMO, fear of missing out. They recognize the other pet's name as a cue for resources or attention being distributed in the house, and they want to make sure they get their cut. They are like tiny, furry mob bosses, making sure they get their percentage of the household treats. Speaking of names, Block 15 is all about human names. Does your cat know who Mum or Dad is? The answer is a resounding yes. If you live in a multi-person household, your cat assigns specific value to different humans. They know that Mum is the one who wakes up early and provides the wet food, while Dad is the one who gives the best chin scratches on the sofa. If someone asks, "Where is Mum?" and points, a cat will often look toward that specific person. They recognize the label we put on each other. But they don't think of you as mum or dad in a human sense. To a cat, you are a large, clumsy, but very useful roommate. Your name is simply the verbal tag for the giant creature that operates the can opener. They learn human names through association and observation. If hearing the word dad always means the front door opens and a specific human walks in, they link the word to the event. They are little scientists, constantly gathering data on our ridiculous human habits. Word number 16 is highly polarizing in the cat world. Brush. Depending on your cat's coat and personality, this word is either a magical spell of pure bliss or a declaration of war. If you have a cat who loves being groomed, the word brush will cause them to instantly drop to the floor and expose their belly, purring like a diesel engine. They know that word means they are about to get a luxurious spa treatment. On the other hand, if you have a cat who hates grooming, saying the word brush will cause them to instantly evaporate into thin air. You will find them 3 hours later wedged behind the washing machine. They learn this word because the physical sensation of being brushed is so intense, whether they enjoy it or not. The association is deeply hardwired into their brain. They know exactly what that tool is. They know the word you use to announce it, and they have pre-planned their exact physical response to it before you even open the drawer to get it. Now for word 17, the ultimate betrayal. Bath or water. Most cats go their entire lives without needing a bath, but if you have a hairless breed or a cat that gets into messy situations, they might know this word. And they hate it. The word bath is recognized not just by the sound, but by the horrific acoustics of the bathroom. They hear the water running, they hear the squeak of the faucet, and then they hear you say the dreaded word. Cats are masters of body language, and when it is bath time, humans give off very predatory energy. We approach them slowly, hands outstretched, trying to be calm. The cat sees this and thinks, they are hunting me, and they are going to put me in the wet torture chamber. So the word bath becomes synonymous with trauma. Even if you try to disguise it by saying it in a sweet voice, they know. They recognize the syllables, they see your tense shoulders, and the claws come out. They know exactly what you are planning, human. Number 18 is the phrase, bye-bye, or see you later. Do cats understand when we are leaving? Absolutely. But do they feel separation anxiety like dogs do? Well, it depends on the cat, but mostly they just recognize the routine. When you say bye-bye, grab your keys and put on your shoes, your cat is taking mental notes. They know this combination of orders and actions means the house is about to be empty. For some cats, this is a moment of sadness. They might sit by the door and wait. But for many cats, the phrase bye-bye is actually a cause for celebration. They realize that the annoying humans are finally leaving, which means it is time to sleep on the forbidden dining room table, chew on the plastic bags in the kitchen, and generally run the house like a lawless kingdom. They recognize your departure words, and they use that information to schedule their daily mischief. They are not crying because you left. They are plotting. Word number 19 is the opposite. Hello or hi. When you come home after a long day and say, hi buddy, your cat knows you have returned. But their reaction is notoriously subtle. While a dog will throw a parade, a cat will often just wake up from a nap, stretch, and give you a single, slow meow. Or they might just look at you, twitch their tail once, and go back to sleep. They recognize the greeting. They know you are talking to them. They just want to make sure you know that your arrival is not the most important event in their day. However, they do associate the word hello with the re-establishment of the household routine. Hello means the food dispenser is back online. Hello means the lap is available for sitting. They learn your specific greeting pitch and respond to it as a confirmation that order has been restored to their kingdom. They love that you are home. They just have a reputation of indifference to maintain. Finally, for Block 20, let us talk about how you can actually expand your cat's vocabulary. If you want your cat to learn more words, you have to understand how their brain processes language. It is all about consistency, tone, and reward. Cats do not understand grammar or sentence structure. If you say, "Could you please get off the counter because I am making dinner?" they hear, "Blah, blah, blah, counter, blah, blah, dinner." To teach them words, you must use short, sharp syllables and pair them immediately with an action or a reward. If you want them to learn the word up, say it exactly as they jump onto a chair and give a treat. The trick is your tone. Cats are highly sensitive to pitch. They respond better to higher-pitched, enthusiastic voices for positive things and sharp, low tones for negative things. You can teach your cat dozens of words if you are patient. Just remember, teaching them a word and getting them to actually care about that word are two completely different things. You can teach a cat, but you can never truly command a cat. So, there you have it, friends. The secret is out. Your cat is not ignoring you because they do not understand you. They are ignoring you because they have weighed the options and decided that napping is simply more important than your feelings. Now you know exactly what is going on inside that beautiful, furry, slightly diabolical little head of theirs. They recognize their names, they know when you are leaving, and they absolutely know how to manipulate you into giving them extra treats. But honestly, despite all their stubbornness and their hilarious superiority complexes, that is exactly why we love them so much. A dog will love you because it is in their nature. But if a cat chooses to listen to you and show you affection, you know you have truly earned it. If this video made you smile and nod your head in agreement, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more awesome feline facts, and share this with another cat parent who thinks their cat is just ignoring them. Now, before you go, tell us in the comments, what is the one word that makes your cat come running from a dead sleep? Let us know, and we will see you in the next video.